Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Toya Talks Wrestling. Today we're going to be talking about a little bit about what happened on Raw, December 8th, 2025. I was like, it's only the 8th? It feels like it should be like the 15th or some shit. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but whatever. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about some of the things that happened on Raw yesterday. So you had Gunther. He had his promo. I think he actually started off the show. He had his promo, for John Cena and stuff like that. Basically saying what he said on Friday, that he's gonna make him tap out. That he's gonna make John Cena give up, because John Cena's motto is never give up. And so he's gonna make John Cena give up. That's what he's gonna do. He's gonna make John Cena tap. I don't think so. I said this previously before, in even yesterday's video. I said that I think that John Cena is probably gonna go over. Even if he doesn't go over, I could see how. I don't think he taps out. I don't think he gives up or anything like that. I think he goes over, but Gunther just might get the pin. Someone was saying Gunther could win because it's possible that Gunther will be fighting Brock Lesnar on WrestleMania. And I'm just like, well, WrestleMania is so far away. You can totally just forget about that. You don't even have to mention John Cena. If John Cena beats Gunther, you don't have to mention it, because it was never mentioned again about Brock Lesnar beating John Cena at WrestlePalooza. Never brought up again. I haven't heard of it anyway, so you can always bury it, I guess, as they say. But I still think that John Cena goes over and everybody goes home happy. That's just my thoughts and opinions, but who knows? We'll see. But it was a good promo and everything else and all that stuff. It served his purpose. So another thing that happened on Raw was Stephanie Becker had a interview in the ring. I think it was with Jackie Redmond, and basically Jackie was congratulating her about beating Nikki Bella at Survivor Series, as if that was a really hard task. But anyway, it's like congratulations and everything else, and who's next or what's next for you and everything else like that. And Stephanie Becker basically was like, Nikki is great and everything else, but she is 15 years behind the times. And I'm like, ain't that the fucking truth? And you're saying that there are great female wrestlers out there, Rhea Ripley, Io, Bayley, Natalia, to name a few. But guess who's on top? She raises her belt up and everything else like that. And as she's talking, Nikki Bella comes out, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, why are you out here? Go away. Shoo, right? Just leave. And I think they're in Kansas City, Missouri. And she was like, Casey, Missouri, or something like that, that y'all don't deserve me out here and everything else like that. And I'm like, yeah, they don't deserve you to be out there. Go away. Go far away. Just leave, right? And he told Stephanie that she demanded to have a rematch and everything else like that. I'm like, oh God, please don't do this. I'm like, do something. Somebody do something. Anybody. I don't fucking care. You, girl in the third fucking row with the red fucking sweater, come in the ring and fucking attack Nikki. Do something. I don't know. Do something. And then that's when Raquel Rodriguez comes out and she attacks Nikki Bella, and I'm like, oh, thank God for Raquel. My God bless her soul for coming out and attacking fucking Nikki. She threw her into the ring post, and Nikki sold her like a boss, so it was fucking great. It was great. The crowd didn't buy it, but whatever. Then Raquel goes into the ring and basically starts speaking in Spanish, and basically told Stephanie, name the place and the time so I can take that title off of you and everything else like that. And then called her a female dog in Spanish, which means bitch. Call her a bitch in Spanish. But I was gonna say female dog. Yeah. Anyways, it was a good segment and everything else like that. So then later on, with the Judgment Day, you had Liv, Roxanne, I think Finn and Dominic Mysterio. They're all talking, and here comes Raquel Rodriguez, and Liv Morgan's like, how come you didn't tell me that you were going after, Stephanie for the title and everything else, right? And Raquel is looking like, what? And Raquel was like, he so Liv, I didn't realize I had to run things by you first before I do it, whatever, right? And I'm like, ooh, tension, right? And I'm just like, and then Liv's like, no, it's not that. It's like, you're my girl, you're my sister and everything else. I want to be out there to, I would want to be out there to help you out and everything else like that. And all that other stuff. I think he's like, I think you're gonna be a great women's champion, good luck and all that other stuff, right? And Raquel's like, oh, thank you, right? I'm gonna go talk to Adam Pearce right now to get a title shot. So then she turns over to Roxanne Perez, because Roxanne Perez had a match with Lyra Valkyria later on, and she's like, well, I guess I'm gonna be in your corner tonight. And Roxanne Perez is like, cool, that's great, but why you're in my corner? I don't understand. I thought you don't like me, right? And she's kind of confused. She's like, well, because if Raquel's going after the women's title, you and I can go after the women's tag title. Again, so much emphasis on these women's tag titles. I wonder why. Anyways, so then Roxanne was like, cool, and everything else. So Roxanne went up against Lyra, had a great freaking match. Lyra had Bayley by her side and everything else. So Ruka was in the audience and everything else. So like I said yesterday's video, so Ruka and Bayley have a match this Saturday at Saturday's main event. So she was out there. It ended up being Roxanne winning. Lyra Valkyria gets caught up. I think Liv Morgan kicked Lyra on the outside or whatever when Lyra was going up to the ring, and she kicked her on the outside, which was a terrible kick, by the way. It didn't even look like she hit her, but Roxanne ends up doing pop rocks, and 1, 2, 3. You have Roxanne winning and Liv Morgan going into the ring, giving her a hug and everything else like that. No. And that was pretty much it for the Judgment Day. I wouldn't see them again later on. But I'm just like, okay, there's a crack in, once again, there's a crack in the Judgment Day with that whole thing between Liv and Raquel. But I'm just like, you know what? I'm not even going to say anything anymore. 'Cause every time there's a crack in this damn fucking fraction or in this damn fucking Judgment Day, it always gets resealed up and everything else, and it's like, okay, well, it's fixed now, we don't care anymore. And it's like, whatever, when something actually happens, then I'll get excited for it. But other than that, I'm just like, oh, okay, whatever. So speaking of more ladies, we had Io Sky, who was back, who had Rhea Ripley in her corner, went up against Kairi Sane, who had Asuka in her corner. It was a pretty good match. Obviously Io ends up winning. Asuka constantly interfered, so Rhea was there to basically stop all that and all stuff like that. It was a pretty good, decent match. I enjoyed that match and everything else. We had the men's tag team champions. They went up, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee went up against the War Raiders. We haven't seen those guys in a while, and they had a match for their title. At one point, Dragon Lee tried to pick up Ivar, and Dragon Lee ain't this big guy, and Ivar is a huge guy, and it just looked weird and strange. And it's not like he tried to do it just once. He did it try to do it 3 times and everything else. But the audience, they were forgiving. They still cheered on, Dragon Lee and everything else like that. They weren't being mean or anything like that. So I'm happy about that. It ended up with AJ Styles doing a phenomenal forearm on, I can't remember who, and getting the pin. On the outside, by the way, may I add, New Day was out there with Grayson Waller by the commentary and everything else. And after the match, the New Day and Grayson Waller comes in and they're about to say something when we hear the Usos music come out. And here comes the Usos. Here comes Jay and Jimmy. And I'm thinking to myself, why is Jay there? Because last time I saw Jay, he was crashing out and everything else like that. Like, okay, what's happening here? So they're both coming out. And then, you know, we have to do the rewind and run it back again with Jay Uso's music. I'm just like, oh God. Okay, here we go. It wasn't that long this time. And then, anyways, Jimmy Uso was basically just saying, like, you know, I saw my brother crashing out. I had to give him a call at 2 o'clock in the morning and say, you know, what are we doing, Us? What are we doing, Us? Right? And Jay Uso was like, going back to us. You know, like we had been, you know, Jimmy's like, we've had losses, WrestlePalooza, War Games. My brother lost his championship title. My brother lost in the tournament. We need to go back to us. You know, basically, you're going back to where it all pretty much all makes sense. Basically, they're going back to being the Usos again. They're going back into the tag team division. I don't think it's going to change much in the tag team division on Raw, but it is a start, and I'm glad they're back because, like, I think Jimmy and Jay are better together than they are apart. Jay Uso's promo, I don't know what it is about doing promos with Jimmy, but when Jay does a promo with Jimmy, it is fire and it's good. And I think they need each other, got that twin magic and everything else. And, you know, told AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, because, like, look, you don't know us as a tag team, right? But these two do, right? And they're pointing over to the New Day, and they talked about, you know, like, New Day and Usos go way back, and they had these great rivalries and everything else. I was like, yeah. If there was ever, like, for me, a good rivalry with the tag teams, oh yeah, the Usos versus New Day on top. Maybe not so much now because, like, the New Day is kind of cold, but you know what? Maybe with the Usos back into the division, maybe the New Day can get up on top again, and we can have that fire that we had with the tag team division, stuff like that. I think it could grow. People are saying that the reason why they're focusing now on the men's tag teams because AEW's men's tag teams is pretty good. I believe so because I've actually seen some tag team action matches over there, and it's pretty great. I don't know who some of those guys are, but I think their tag teams are pretty cool. So I can see why WWE is now all focused on the tag team. And also Jey Uso pretty much dried himself out with singles competition. He don't need to be in a singles competition anymore. He needs to be with his brother. So there's that and all this other stuff. And it ended up New Day trying to attack the Usos from behind when they were trying to talk to AJ and Dragon Lee, but got caught up, and then Grayson Waller didn't want none of it, so he just left and all this other stuff. And you know, they had a face-to-face too with the tag team champions with Usos. So I want to build the tag team up again. I want to build up the tag team division up again because WWE tag team division used to be great and everything else like that. And I kind of agree with some people. They just merged both the tag teams on both brands of Raw and SmackDown and do the tag teams like they do the women's tag teams, where it could be defended on both SmackDown and Raw. Well, actually the women's is SmackDown, Raw, and NXT, but the men should be on SmackDown and Raw and everything else. And we don't have that many tag teams on Raw. We don't have that many tag teams on SmackDown. So just merge them together. But I don't know. But it should be great. The Usos are back together, and I'm really happy about that. So let's talk about the main event and some other stuff. Well, let's talk about the Vision, basically. So we had Logan Paul and Rey Mysterio. I don't know if they were fighting or they were confronting each other or something like that in the ring and everything else. Well, like, no, we had. Oh wait, I'm wrong. I'm jumping ahead here. Okay, we had Logan Paul backstage with the Vision and Paul Heyman, and you know, basically Logan Paul's like, look, we have a Rey Mysterio problem and everything else like that, and we need to take care of it and stuff like that, and I just need to know y'all have my back. And they're like, yeah, we got your back and everything else like that. And I go, and he's like, Paul Heyman, can I talk to you for a minute? And they go and he talks and everything else like that. And Paul Heyman's like, see, they have your back and everything else like that. And Logan Paul's like, cool, I'm glad, but let them know also that I also have their backs as well. And Paul Heyman's like, see, I knew I liked you. I knew I respected you. I like that guy. So then Logan Paul goes into the ring and he goes to meet up with Rey Mysterio. Like, I can't remember, was it a match or not? I can't remember. I'm sorry. But, doesn't matter. He goes into the ring and Rey Mysterio's there and Logan Paul's there. And then the mystery guy from San Diego on War Games in all black ended up curb stomping Rey Mysterio and leaving the ring. So this was like the second time we had saw this guy. Again, no reveal. We don't know who it is. I mean, we know who it is. We're not supposed to know who it is. And then Logan Paul ends up getting the brass knuckles and hitting, because he got the brass knuckles from Paul Heyman, because, you know, just in case. I'm like, why is Paul Heyman holding on to Logan Paul's brass knuckles? Whatever. Anyways, he hits him with the brass knuckles and, you know, whatever. And then here comes LA Knight. LA Knight comes in. Poor LA Knight. Oh, man. Poor LA Knight. Anyways, he goes in there, and LA Knight goes in there and he tries to get up Logan Paul. Logan Paul leaves the ring and everything else. And the LA Knight gets the microphone and tells Logan Paul, you don't go nowhere. You know, he's like, I'm going to teach you a lesson. I'm not going to teach you a lesson on Friday. I'm not going to teach you a lesson on Saturday. I'm going to teach you a lesson right now here on Monday. And, you know, right? So it ended up that Adam Pearce made it official. It was a main event match between Logan Paul versus LA Knight. And I'm just like, well, I was like, I hope LA Knight gets the win, but it doesn't look like it. You know, I'm like, I don't know. It don't look like it at all and everything else. So they are going. Logan Paul and LA Knight were having a match. And eventually the Visions, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed come out and, you know, cause a little bit of a distraction. Point where, like, even the ref was led on to the distraction because it was like, you know, he figured it out that they were, you know, causing a distraction and causing like interference, and ended up kicking out both Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, although they did not like move right away. You know, they weren't in a rush to like get out of the ring area. And I think LA Knight pretty much attacked Braun Breaker or whatever, and then Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed are like slowly going up to the ramp. And as you know, then he starts attacking Logan Paul on the outside, and you know, on the announcer's desk and everything else. And that's when the guy, the masked man in the all black, comes back and curb stomps LA Knight onto the announce desk, and you know, throws him back into the ring, where then, you know, Logan Paul does his frog splash and then he gets the pin. So then there's that, and then they Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed come back because they didn't really leave. They just ran up the ramp really slowly to come back, and you know, Logan Paul had LA Knight in position for Braun Breaker to do his spear. So he got speared, and then he got tsunami not once but twice in the ring. Let me just say, in the ring. okay? Because this goes on. And then, you know, they had the officials come out and take LA Knight, and they take him in the back, you know, get a checkup or whatever they need to do back there. And then they had Paul Heyman, you know, asking, at this point the crowd's booing. Paul Heyman's like, why are you booing? And everything else. LA Knight had to mind his own business and all this other stuff, and saying that he doesn't even know if he's in Kansas City, Kansas, or Kansas City, Missouri, but he knows one thing for sure, that on January 5th, Braun Breaker is going to beat CM Punk and become the heavyweight championship. And I'm like, I fucking hope so. I fucking hope so. I hope that's what's gonna happen. That's what needs to happen. That's what should happen. In my case, and in that case, you know how I feel. I feel like other people feel it too. But Braun Breaker, he cuts another promo on Punk, basically saying he wants the old Punk. He don't want this CM Punk, this nice guy Punk, you know, posing and taking pictures with people, you know, in NXT and all these young talent and everything else. Like, oh, he's a nice guy. He wants the asshole CM Punk from 2011, 2012, and 2013. He wants that Punk, because this Punk there right now, if he shows up, he's gonna be annihilated and everything else like that, and all this other stuff. And one of the things that he said, and I started busting out laughing, was like, you know, if this Punk, this nice Punk comes up, I'm just gonna spear him 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna take your title, and you know what? And you know what? Hella, I'll take your wife too. You know, I'll take your title and I'll take your wife. I'm like, all right. I see you've been hanging out with your uncle too much, a little bit there. I'm wrong, but so that was funny. And you know, as he was talking, right, as he was still making his promo and everything else, there was the camera in the back. The Titan comes on. The camera comes into the back, and LA Knight, he's basically like, yo, leave me alone, get out of my way, I'm not done. I'm like, you should be done. Like, I mean, like, you just took some spears, a fog splash, and 2 tsunamis. I think you need to be done. Like, what are you doing, right? And after showing this, you know, Bronson Reed and Logan Paul, they go out there and they go find LA Knight, right? So then they go find him. They go back to the ring with Braun Breaker, and he's still cutting his promo. He goes, I'm not done yet. I'm not done. He's like, look, when I see Punk at on January 5th at Raw, and that, you know, that first Raw on first Raw of 2026, it's going to be spear 1, 2, 3, spear 1, 2, 3, spear 1, 2, 3. And I'm thinking, like, you just have to pin him once, Braun. You know, what the fuck are you doing? But as he was saying this, he was getting more fired up. He was taking off his shirt and everything else, and there was like a cool image of him looking into the camera that was in the ring, and Paul Heyman is like doing 1, 2, 3 with his fingers. It's kind of like blurry. You can't really see him, but it's like focused on Braun Breaker, I mean. And I'm just like, man, that's cool. And I'm like, dude, they do not give this guy this title. I don't know. What are we doing? What are we fucking doing? So anyways, there's backstage, you know, Bronson Reed and Logan Paul, they find LA Knight, and they start attacking him again and everything else, and they started fucking up his shit, and Bronson Reed goes and powerbombs him into a table. They start attacking, you know, and everything else, and they're about to walk away, and LA Knight's getting up again. I'm like, dude, just stay the fuck down. Like, what are you doing? And even Logan Paul's like, what's up with this guy? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's up with this guy? What's with this guy? So they start attacking him again, and I think right now they're like in a parking garage, and you know, I think Bronson Reed tells I think Bronson Reed slammed him into a car, or he tells Logan Paul to slam him into a car, whatever like that. Logan Paul pretty much gets him onto the car, and then drags him up on top of the roof of the car and hits him with a tsunami from the top of that area from where he was. I don't know exactly where he was, but Reed hit LA Knight with a tsunami. Wasn't as great as when he did it with Braun Strowman when he was outside and he was on that freaking wall and he fell from the wall to the car and all the car windows shattered and everything else like that. It wasn't that, but you know, it did make the car go beep, 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 beep. Yeah, like a really silly freaking horn and everything else like that. And I'm just like, so LA Knight's dead. Yeah, okay. Get the I think it's time to get the shovels. Time for the burial. Time for the burial of LA Knight. It was nice knowing you, LA Knight. I guess. I guess he's written off TV at least for the rest of the year. I don't expect him to come back anytime soon. So I think he might be writing off until like maybe Royal Rumble. I mean, look at this. I'm thinking it like this, right? I don't know. I've heard people say that someone in the back don't like LA Knight, and I'm just like, I didn't want to believe that conspiracy. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, come on, give me a break. Like, yes, I understand that there are people out there that in wrestling they don't like certain people and everything else, and people have their favorites and all the other stuff, but I was just like, come on. I was like, no, but now I don't know. I'm beginning to believe you guys. I'm beginning to think like, oh, maybe there's someone in the back on the top with the ties and suits that might not like LA Knight, which I don't understand why. Because LA Knight, oh my god, he's so fucking over it. Like, I mean, at this point, if you're gonna do all this to LA Knight, and you're not going to do anything else, like, if LA Knight is not one of the contenders to be, not contender, but to be thought about as the winner of the Royal Rumble in 2026, or even the Elimination Chamber winner, I don't know what you're doing with LA Knight. I really don't. Because I don't understand how you can have someone that's so fucking over with the audience, great in the ring, great on the mic, probably like one of the top 5 baby faces of the company, probably one of the top sells and everything else, to not have him like win Royal Rumble or an Elimination Chamber and put a title on this fucking man, like put the world title on him and everything else. I you know what I mean? It's like I don't get it. Like, I don't understand. I really don't understand. Like, what does he have to do to be in that spotlight? You know what I'm saying? Like, technically he's already in the spotlight. I feel terrible and bad for like true LA Knight fans, because it's like every time, man, it's like you think he's going like 1 step forward and they pull him back 10 steps back. It's like ridiculous. And it's like, what does this man need to do? And I'm like, I get it. It's like that. And I'm just like, oh, because they want younger stars and one younger fucking wrestlers and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm all for that and everything else. But I mean, like, Cody Rhodes is like in his 40s. You know, like what I'm saying? Like, he ain't young. He's a champion. I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm just like, at this point, I wouldn't mind. I've said this before, and I've said this before, and if I haven't, I'm gonna say it now. Punk and Braun Breaker at Raw. Punk loses to Braun Breaker. Fucking put LA Knight at Royal Rumble, and he can go up against fucking Breaker at WrestleMania. You know, it'll be something different, because we always get the same fucking goddamn people all the time being in the main event at WrestleMania. We need something new. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Cody. I like Roman. I like all these people. I don't see them all the time. We do not need to see these people all the time. Like, Punk could win like Chamber because I believe Elimination Chamber is in Chicago, and you know, he can go up against Cody, right? Then you can have Punk and Cody at WrestleMania. You can have Braun Breaker and LA Knight at WrestleMania, you know? Like, why can't we switch it up a bit? Why can't we do a little bit something different? I don't know. But it's really disappointing and everything else like that. So I'm just like, I'm like, you know, I hope they're doing all this to just do something with LA Knight. You know, put a title on it. We don't need to have a title forever. You know, we don't need to have a long run, a few months, couple of defenses, maybe a PLE, and then, you know, you'll fucking lose it to the next person. Maybe to fucking, if Seth Rollins is back by that time, put it back on Seth Rollins. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you gotta do something. You gotta do something, man. This is ridiculous. Like, I just feel bad. Like this is, like, how, like, what does this man need to do? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what does he need to do? Like, how does, I don't get it. I don't get it. And it's like, if you're talking about, like, making money, dude, can you imagine all the fucking money you've been making with LA Knight as champion? Like, why are we not running this? Why are we not doing this? Like, what is the beef? What is your personal issue with this man? Like, honestly, I don't get it. You know, I don't understand it. It's just ridiculous. It's wow. Anyways, that was Raw. It was a decent show. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Okay, bye.